Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Apprentice School Athletic Center here on the campus of Newport News Shipbuilding, located in Newport News, Virginia. I'm Howard McCain, and tonight we welcome in the Johnson & Wales University at Charlotte Wildcats, head coach by Dan Larkin, here to take on Coach K and the 7-5 Apprentice School Builders, The Builders come into tonight's game with a record of 7-5, losers of their last two ball games. But on the other side of the court, the Wildcats come into tonight's game with a mark of 4-6, having lost their last three ball games. So, which one of these teams will be to get off the schneid with a win tonight? We're about to find out, as right now we're having the starting lineups, and both teams will be making their way on the court in just a moment. So stick around, don't go anywhere, as the Builders take on the Wildcats here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. Let's get ready. And the starting lineups have been announced, and both teams will be making their way onto the court shortly. But for the home Apprentice School Builders, their starters tonight are Brian Fuller, Corey Joyner, Drew Walton, Marion Moore, and Sam Morris. And their head coach, Evan Key, is in his second season here with the Apprentice School Builders. Again, they come into tonight's ball game with an overall record of 7-5, 3-0 in the EMAC, that's the Eastern Metro Athletic Conference. On the other side of the court, the starters for tonight's game are Marley Poole, Malik Bullock, Kajon Madden McPhee, Robert Hudson, and Christian Cresswell. Again, they are head coached by Dan Larkin in his first season with Johnson & Wales at Charlotte. And again, they come into tonight's ball game with an overall record of 4-6, and they're undefeated also in the EMAC at 2-0, and we are underway. Builders win the tip. Joyner with the basketball, guarded closely. Here's Fuller. Fuller over to Morris. Morris looks. Shot clock down at 7. Shot missed. Rebound taken by Robert Hudson. Hudson over to Bullock. I'm sorry. Here's McAfee. McAfee over to Poole. Poole dumps it down. Feed inside, look, shot up, no good, rebound taken by the Builders.
Look at him, see him, Marion.
Builders running. Here's the leading scorer, Marion Moore, off to Fuller. Fuller being guarded by McAfee.
Look at him.
Fuller turns the ball over. Johnson Wales running. Deep corner three. No good. Rebound was secured by the Wildcats as Poole makes his way to the basket. No good. Here's Fuller. Correction, that's Joyner with the basketball. Here's Moore. Shot up and good. 2-0 Builders. 18:28 remaining in the first half. Here's Johnson & Wales on the attack. Deep corner, Poole. Three, no good. That's the second offensive rebound secured tonight by Johnson & Wales. Give on the blocks, nothing there. Three-point shot misses everything, barely caught the backboard as Walton secures the rebound. Coming into tonight's ball game, the Builders, long three, no good that time by Sam Morris, but the Wildcats get the rebound and they run. Beautiful drive into the lane, foul call. That first foul is going to be called on Sam Morris, and for Sam Morris, that is his first personal foul and the team's first. So foul committed in the act of shooting. So Robert Hobson will step to the line to shoot two for the visiting Wildcats, who currently trail by a score of 2-0, 17:46 remaining in the first half, and the first free throw is good. The Builders come into tonight's ball game averaging 42.6 rebounds per game. Most of those secured by Drew Walton, who comes into tonight's ball game averaging 12.6 rebounds a game. Here are the Builders with the basketball. Morris. Over to Fuller. Over to Joyner. Joyner being guarded closely on defense by the Wildcats. Here's Walton. Shot up and good off the glass. Beautiful move on the baseline by Walton. And we have a timeout as we have an injured player. This is going to be a quick officials timeout as I believe Marley Moore may have taken a shot to the face, so he's going to go to the sideline to be attended to. So Zarian Williams makes his way into the ball game for the visiting Wildcats, who come into tonight's ball game again. Losers of 3 straight, averaging about 76.6 points a game. Here's McAfee. McAfee finding Bullock. Shot no good. Rebound taken by Walton. Here's Joyner being guarded by McAfee. Morris on the drive, shot up, no foul call. A lot of contact around the basket, but no foul call, so the ball goes out of bounds. It was last touched by a Wildcat. Here's Joyner to trigger. Joyner looks, running out of time. Heaves it deep into the backcourt to Fuller. Fuller back to Joyner, loses the basketball, and here are the Wildcats running. But Morris able to strip it away. Frantic pace around midcourt, but the Wildcats come away with it. Trailing by a score of 4-1, and there's a traveling call. Your officials for tonight's game are Steve Jones, Kendall Ridley, and Eric Brinker. 4-1 is our score. 6:33 remaining in the first half. Builders lead. Here's Fuller. Dump down to Moore. Shot is up. No good. Rebound secured by Moore. Put back is good. Nice job of work down underneath by Marion Moore. And that pushes the Builder lead up to 6-1. Here are the Wildcats who throw it away. That's going to be a turnover for the Wildcats. Wildcats not playing particularly well early on in this basketball game. Again, they trail 6-1 to the Builders. 16 minutes remaining in the first half. Here's Fuller with the basketball, being guarded closely by McAfee. Dan Larkin coaching the Wildcats as we see Joyner lose the basketball out of bounds, and that's going to lead to an early substitution as Brandon Joyner makes his way into the court for the first time tonight. 15:50 remaining. Wildcats trailing 6-1 to our home Builders here at their Prentice School Athletic Center. Here's Wilkins over. 3-point shot is good. That's Robert Hobson. Wildcats shooting about 33.9% from the three-point line, while the Builders settle in around about 27%, so won't be a lot of scoring behind the three-point line as Marion Moore strong to the basket and good. 8-4 is our score here. Builders lead the Wildcats of Johnson and Wales University in Charlotte. As the Wildcats drive, no traveling call there as Fuller secures the missed shot. Here's Morris with the basketball. Morris to Joyner, who sets the offense, being closely guarded by McAfee. Here's Moore. Fuller looks, shoots. Shot, no good, missed everything. Rebound taken by McAfee and the Wildcats. Wildcats trail 8-4. Spin move, dish out behind the three-point line. Three-point shot up and good. That shot is good for Kajon Madden McAfee. Those are his, I believe those are his first points. I believe they called that a 2. So 8-6 is our score. Builders lead, 14-12 remaining. Here's Moore. Drive, dish to Fuller. Nice ball movement by the Builders. Shot no good, rebound taken and up. So for Walton, rims out. Here come the Wildcats. Off in the wing, Hobson over to McAfee. Spot up three, no good. Rebound taken by Joyner. 8-6, our score still. As Joyner drives, shot is up and good. Beautiful dribble penetration into the lane on that drive by Brandon Joyner. That gives the Builders a 10-6 lead here at home. 13:26 remaining. Ball sails out of bounds, so that'll be a turnover on the Wildcats as substitutions make their way onto the floor for the Builders and for the Wildcats as Bryce Scott makes his way into the ball game. Philip Gill Jr. new into the ball game and back onto the floor for the visiting Wildcats, Marley Poole, after being struck in the face earlier in the half. 13:18 remaining. Here's Joyner, looks. Walton wasn't looking for the pass. It actually hit him on the shoulder, and that's going to be a turnover for the Builders. Here's Poole. Strong to the basket, but he's fouled. That foul is going to be on Drew Walton. That is going to be Drew Walton's first personal foul and the team's second. 10-6 our score, Builders leading the Wildcats. 13:07 remaining in the first half. Here's Wilkins over to Hobson, over to Poole. Crisp ball movement on this possession that time by the Wildcats, but the three is no good. Rebound taken. 3-point shot, no good again, but right there on the rebound is Zarian Wilkins to put it back up and in for the Wildcats, and that trims the Builder lead down to 10-8. 12:39 remaining. Here's Joyner being guarded. On the wing, Scott. Nice job that time by Walton to secure the loose ball, but he was fouled. That foul call is on number 11, Robert Hobson. That is going to be his first personal foul, and that is the team's second. Correction, that is the team's first. Builders tried to inbound the ball to Moore on the, but that turns into a noisy 2 points on the other end for the Wildcats, who have just tied the score at 10 apiece. 12:13 remaining in the in the first half. Here's Morris. Morris with the basketball off of a screen from Walton. Step back jumper, no good. Wildcats with the rebound and running. 3-point shot off the back iron, taken by Morris. Morris, skip pass over to Joyner. Joyner, skip pass back out to Morris as the Wildcats get a steal. Wildcats running, and there's going to be a foul. That foul is going to be on Sam Morris. Jackson Baylart is going to be the Wildcat that was fouled, as Rashawn Ely and Bryant Fuller make their way back into the ball game, but there's a timeout. Timeout being taken by the Builders. That is going to be their first charge timeout of the half, and as you watch tonight's ball game, you can see both teams want to get out and run, and I'm pretty sure the reason why they want to do that is because both teams are desperate for a win. As I said in the opener, both teams are coming off of losing streaks right now. Builders, losers of their last two, haven't won since their last time here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. As for the Wildcats, they come into tonight's ball game having dropped their last three. So I'm pretty sure Coach Larkin and both Coach Key want to amp up the tempo, amp up the energy, and get both of these teams out and running. Now, think about this as we go through this basketball game. As far as numbers go, the Wildcats have a heck of a lot more players right now than our Builders do. So we're going to have to conserve energy and play smart when we have the basketball. So far, the Builders have turned the game over a couple of times here in the first half. As both teams make their way back onto the court, 11:38 remaining in the first half, score tied 10 apiece. We see both teams have made their way back onto the basketball court as ball has been inbounded now to the visiting Wildcats, who are on the offense. And again, they have all the momentum so far, as there was a mad scrum for the basketball. Looks like there was a foul call. That foul is going to go against Johnson and Wales. That's going to be Robert Hobson. That is his first personal foul and the team's second. As the Builders take control, Brandon Joyner with the basketball, being guarded closely by Robert Hobson. Here's Ely looking. Another turnover by the Builders, and those are starting to mount up as we have a foul call as the shot went up. That foul call is going to be on Rashawn Ely. That is going to be his first personal foul. Rashawn Ely new into the basketball game off of the bench. And at the line to shoot two for the visiting Wildcats, here's Zarian Wilkins. First shot is good, so that is the first lead of the ball game for the visiting Wildcats of Johnson and Wales, who lead by a score of 11-10. 11:08 remaining in the first half. Second free throw, no good. Rebound taken by Walton. Here's Joyner. Joyner being guarded by Philip Gill Jr. Here's Ely. Someone needs to come and get the basketball. Here's Joyner. 9 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Builders a long way from the basket. As the shot goes up, it's blocked, but there was a foul. That foul is going to be on Philip Gill Jr. That is his second personal foul, and that is the team's third, and at the line to shoot two for our home Builders, number 1, Brandon Joyner. Knocks down the first free throw. 10:41 remaining here in the first half. Score tied, 11-11 Builders and Wildcats, as the second of two upcoming for Brandon Joyner. Second free throw, no good. Rebound taken by Walton, and Walton is fouled. Walton will go back to the line to shoot two, as that foul is on Zarian Wilkins. That is his first personal foul, and the team's fourth, and Walton coming in tonight's ball game, averaging 12.6 rebounds per game. They're going to need every single one of them tonight. Coming into tonight's ball game, as Walton's first free throw is no good. Kajon Madden McAfee makes his way back into the ball game, and coming in tonight's ball game defensively, out of conference, the Wildcats, the visiting Wildcats, are giving up about 89.4 points per game, but it's in conference where they've really been tough, as the second free throw is missed and the Wildcats are running. Here's Poole. Poole over to Hobson. Hobson drives. Shot up and no good, taken by Molesky. Walton with the basketball, switches hands, tip, basket no good, but the tip back is Caleb Malowski. Extends the Builders' lead, 13-11, shot missed, rebound taken by the Builders. Here's Joyner. From three-point range, shot no good, Builders, rebound taken by the Wildcats, and here comes Poole. Spot up three, shot no good. Thought it may have been an over-the-back foul call on the Wildcats, nothing doing, as the Builders secure the rebound. Here's Fuller. Fuller, feed down low to Molesky. Free three, no good. Molesky, shot up and good. 15-11 our score, as Molesky able to secure the rebound and put it back into the basket for the Builders, as the Builders take a 4-point lead here at home in the Apprentice School Athletic Center. You're back here at courtside with Howard McCain, bringing you tonight's action again. Johnson and Wales Wildcats coming in tonight, actually playing very good defense in conference. As I mentioned earlier, out of conference, they're giving up about 89.4 points per game, but coming into tonight's game in conference, where they currently are 2-0, only surrendering about 67.5 points per game to their opponents. So the Builders are going to have to make some hay tonight if they want to score on this defense. This defense is a very good defense for the Wildcats, but as you've seen early on, very athletic basketball team who are making this a very good basketball game so far. So let's reset. 9 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the first half. Builders currently lead by a score of 15-11 as both teams make their way back onto the court. Now on the other side of the basketball, the Builders coming into tonight's ball game are averaging about 78.6 points overall per game, but it's in conference where they're surrendering more points. Now, through 3 contests in conference, they're averaging 88.3 points surrendering, a whole 12 points more in conference they're giving up defensively as the shot is up and no good, but there was a foul, and I believe that's going to be an offensive foul call. Offensive foul call. Great job of standing in and taking that foul for the Builders. Brian Fuller. That foul call is going to go on Marley Poole, and for Marley Poole, that is his first personal foul and the team's 5th. Here's Brandon Joyner with the basketball, being guarded closely by Madden McAfee. Fuller spins, finds Morris. Here's Molesky, over to Fuller. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Shot up, no good. Fuller with the basketball, over to Joyner. Joyner's shot is up and good. Count that one, folks, that's a 3. So 21-11 is our score. I'm sorry, 18-11 is our score. I gave the home Builders 6 points for that shot instead of just 3. As the ball is lost in the lane, and here are the Builders out and running, and that's Marion Moore adding to his total tonight. Marion Moore, 10 points so far in the basketball game as the Builders continue to defend here at home. Shot up by the Wildcats, no good. Rebound taken by the Builders as they run. 20-11 our score, 8 minutes remaining in the first half. Builders still in control. Fuller with the basketball. Fuller over to Morris. Long 3, misses absolutely everything. Rebound taken by the visiting Wildcats as they push the ball down court, looking for a 3-point shot of their own. It's up, no good. Long rebound comes off to the Wildcats as the second 3-point shot is up and good. That one is drained by Robert Hobson. Our new score, 20-14. Builders in the lead, take the lead, or actually extend the lead now. 6 points, 7:36 remaining here in the first half as the Builders have called a timeout. So timeouts for both teams. 30-second timeout. I take it back. That was not a 30-second timeout. That was an official's timeout. So both teams make their way back onto the court. Builders currently lead 20-14 here at home. 7:36 remaining as the Builders look to rebound. Sam Morris with the basketball. Morris being guarded closely by McAfee. Morris dribbles, looks, finds Fuller on the wing. Fuller drives, nothing there, cut off by this stout Wildcat defense. Give to Moore, who's able to get into the lane, folks, and lay it up and good for an easy layup. 22-14, our current score here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center as the Wildcats dribble drive to the basket is no good. Rebound taken by the Builders. Fuller with the basketball. Having a couple of technical difficulties right now, but we'll get you back down to the court. Right now, I'll bring you the action as best I can, play by play, as there was a turnover by the Builders. Wildcats able to drive down for an easy layup. 22-16 is our score. 6:41 remaining in the first half. As Scott with the basketball being guarded closely. Scott over to Morris. Morris dribble, drive to the hoop, layup missed. Rebound taken by the Wildcats, but folks, there was a foul. That foul call is going to go against Drew Walton. And for Drew Walton, that is I believe his second personal foul, his second personal foul. So that's the team's 5th of the half. Now, remember, teams don't get into the bonus until there are 7 total team fouls, and they get into the double bonus, which is 2 shots after the 10th team foul. So right now, Builders haven't gotten into the bonus yet as the Wildcats on a wild layup goes up and in, and that cuts the lead now to 22-18, Builders leading. Once again, another turnover committed by the Builders. Wildcats running. Wildcats dribble, drive to the basket, up and no good. Rebound taken by Malowski, but he turns it over in the backcourt for an easy putback for the Wildcats. And folks, just that quickly, a 6-point lead has been trimmed down to 2, 22-20, our score, as we're gonna get a timeout. Timeout being taken by Coach Key, and that's a very good timeout. He's gonna take a full timeout. So very good timeout being taken right now by the home Builders. Right now, the Builders have allowed the Wildcats to get out and run. A couple of turnovers on the other end for the Wildcats, for the Builders, have allowed the Wildcats to convert on the other end, easy layups in transition. So I'm pretty sure Coach Key wants to sit his team down and talk to them, for one, about taking care of the basketball. Number two, you gotta get back on defense. Transition defense has failed the Builders early on in this basketball game. So 5:45 remaining in the first half, Builders leading by a score of 22-20, but that lead is in jeopardy as the Wildcats have made a push in this basketball game. So we're gonna continue to watch to see if Coach Key and his guys can make an adjustment in this first half to get themselves back on track to limit these turnovers and nullify these fast break opportunities for the Wildcats. Here we go as both teams make their way back onto the court. The Builders will counter with Scott, Malowski, Moore, Morris, and Fuller. 5:45 remaining in the basketball game as Malewski inbounds to Morris. Morris being guarded closely. Here's Malowski over to Fuller outside the three-point arc. Builders continue to work outside the three-point arc as Morris makes his move, but he's cut off on the baseline. Ball was poked out of bounds on the pass to Malewski. And it's going to be Builder basketball. It was poked out of bounds by the Wildcats. So Builders maintain control of the ball. 7 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 3, 2, 1. As the shot is up right before the buzzer goes, misses everything. So that's going to be a shot clock violation on the Builders as we're back to action on the floor. 5:20 remaining. Builders lead by a bucket, 22-20, over the Johnson & Wales University in Charlotte Wildcats. Here's McAfee dribbling. Give over the Poole. 2-point shot is up and good. That was a 2-point shot for Poole. And now we are tied. 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Builders with the ball. Here's Joyner. Quick shot. Drains it. And that's the first bucket in quite some time for the Builders as they push the lead up to 24-22. Here's McAfee. And the Builders fall asleep on defense as Marion Moore wasn't able to move his feet quick enough to cut off Poole. Poole, easy lane to the basket. That's an easy way to get the score back knotted up at 24 as Morris looks over to Fuller. Fuller to Joyner. 3-point shot, no good. Rebound taken by Moore, but Moore lowered his shoulder into Poole. Offensive foul.
Hey, he's out of his box.
I was trying to see how many personal fouls that is for Moore as we have a stoppage in play. Correction, that wasn't an offensive foul. That was actually a blocking foul call. So it's going to be changed. That blocking foul is going to be charged to Marley Poole. That is his second personal foul and the team's 6th. So as it goes, the Wildcats aren't in the bonus.
Hey, let's go. Play's got to move on. We've had the conference. Let's go. Bucks 3.
As the teams are trying to sort things out, as there will be a substitution into the ball game as Marley Poole takes a seat and Robert Hobson takes his place on the basketball court as Coach Larkin wants to know what the call was. And play resumes. Here's Fuller. Fuller over to Joyner. Joyner looking down low to Moore. Nothing there. Back out to Morris. 18 seconds on the shot clock. 4:07 remaining here in the first half. Both teams tied at 24. Here's Joyner. Dribble drive. Left hand shot. No good. Molesky fouled. Great job of working the offensive glass, Molesky, as he was able to get that rebound and get a foul. That foul is going to go against Jackson Baylard. That is his first personal foul in the team's first, so now the Builders are in the bonus. Molesky at the line shooting the 1-and-1. Well, correction, that's going to be a two-shot foul, sorry. Molesky was fouled in the act of shooting, so the second of two upcoming. First free throw missed. Second free throw also missed. Here's Hobson. Hobson to McAfee. Driving, nothing there. Almost a travel by the Wildcats, but it ends up turning into a turnover. So the Builders control of the basketball. Score tied, 24-24, 3:32 remaining in the first half. Molesky feed down low to Moore, but Moore wasn't there, but there was a foul. That foul was on Malik Bullock of the Wildcats, and for Malik Bullock, that is going to be Malik Bullock's, I believe, his first personal foul and the team's 8th. So, at the line shooting 2 for the Wildcats, here's Marion Moore. Score currently 24-24. First free throw is good. Builders regain the lead, 25-24, as the Wildcats send in substitutions. Zarian Wilkins back into the ball game for the Wildcats. Second of 2 from Morris. Moore upcoming. Second free throw is good. 26-24 our score. 3:25 remaining. This game has been competitive, nip and tuck all the way. Looked like at one point in the ball game the Builders were going to pull away, but the Wildcats continue to persist as long three-point shot is up and good for the Wildcats. Deep in the corner is Robert Hobson, and that three gives the lead right back to the Wildcats, 27-26. Builders on the attack. Nice job of picking the pocket that time of the Builders was McAfee, but unable to secure the ball on the baseline, on the sideline, and he stepped out of bounds, so turnover. Ball goes back to the Builders. Here's Moore to Joyner. Plenty of time left on the shot clock. 2:50 remaining in the first half. Wildcats lead by 1, 27-26. Joyner with the basketball. Off of the screen, but they're going to call a moving screen on Marion Moore. And for Marion Moore, that is his first personal foul to go along with 14 points for Marion Moore. But the Builders still trail 27-26. Here's McAfee being guarded by Morris. Deep corner, 3, shot, no good by Hobson, but for some reason, the rebound was taken by McAfee and the defense left him completely alone. So McAfee able to put up an easy 2 and able to pick the pocket of Brandon Joyner in the backcourt for an easy layup. And just that quick, the Builders have fallen behind by 5, 31-26. Once again, not taking good care of the basketball are the Builders as Joyner crosses midcourt. 2 minutes remaining in the first half as the shot clock did not start. So we're going to have an official's timeout to get the shot clock sorted out. I'm sure when they go into the halftime locker room, that is going to be something Coach Key is going to stress to his ball club when they come out into the second half, that they have to take better care of the basketball and the Builders have to do a better job on transition defense. 31-26 is our score as Substitutions make their way into the ball game. Corey Joyner makes his way back onto the floor, along with Bryce Scott for the final 1:58 of the half. Here's Joyner. Joyner over to Molesky. Back to Fuller. Joyner, 8 seconds. Shot up and good. Beautiful job on the dribble penetration by Joyner to get the easy bucket. 31-28, 1:30 remaining, first half. Here's Hobson. Molesky on the defense. Shot up, no good. Wilkins to shoot 2. He was fouled. That foul is going to be called on Bryce Scott of the Builders. For Bryce Scott, that is his first personal foul. Wilkins, first free throw, no good. Scott score stays. Wildcats 31, Builders 28. 1:23 remaining as Coach Key has a couple of words with the head official. Second free throw is good. 32-28, 1:20 remaining in the first half. Here's Joyner and McAfee. McAfee, 8 points tonight for the Wildcats. Couple of key steals in the backcourt for easy layups. McAfee as a feed down low to Molesky, double pumps. Shot was blocked, so Wildcats on the run. Transition defense fails again for the Builders as another easy layup is given up by the Builders. 34-28, Wildcats over the Builders. Under a minute to play in the first half, 42 seconds remaining. Here's Joyner over to Molesky. 15 seconds on the shot clock. As the clock ticks down to 33 seconds, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Three-point shot, no good by Joyner as the Wildcats, no look pass cross court to Hobson. Feed down low, no good as the ball is tipped out. And Coach Larkin tells his team to hold for the final shot, but first, there's going to be a timeout. Timeout being taken by the visiting Wildcats, who honestly, folks, in this first half have played well. Really good on defense tonight, as we told you early on, only surrendering about 67.5 points per game in conference. And guess what? This is a conference ball game tonight between them and the Apprentice School. Once again, the Apprentice School on transition defense failed them once again as the Wildcats were able to get a very easy basket in transition to extend their lead now to 6 points. 34-28 is our score. 17.8 seconds remaining in the first half. So Coach Key, I take that back, that was Coach Larkin that called a timeout. So our fouls right now, the Wildcats sitting at 8, and the Builders sitting at 7. So both teams make their way onto the court to play out this last 17.8 seconds of the first half. Basketball in possession of the Wildcats as McAfee takes. 14 seconds remaining. McAfee to hold, being guarded by Joyner as the screen is set. Three-point shot, no good. Rebound taken by the Builders. Good if it goes. Oh! And it hit off the side of the rim. No good for the Builders as the first 20 minutes of action has come to a close here in the first half, and the Builders will go into the locker room trailing the visiting Wildcats of Johnson and Wales University in Charlotte by a score of 34-28. A lot of things to work on, a lot of things to talk about at the half as both teams make their way into the locker room. For the Wildcats and Coach Larkin, they've played very well here in the first half. They've done an excellent job on defense, and they've done an excellent job with steals. I believe so far I've counted about 5, but we'll get those totals, and we'll tell you what those are when we come out in the second half. But for the Builders, they've got to do two things to get themselves back into the ball game. First of all, they have to take care of the basketball. Too many turnovers, being a little too careless with the basketball in the first half with the Builders led to fast break points and easy baskets for the Wildcats. So shore up the turnovers, and you have to get back on transition defense. If neither of those things happen, it may be a long second half for the Builders. But as it stands, 34-28, the Wildcats over the Builders, at halftime here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. We'll be back for more in the second half.
Here we go.
My name is Letitia McCain. I am Director of Education of the Apprentice School. And I think the most fun part of it all is building a relationship with the students.
You know, the opportunity we can offer here at the Apprentice School is a very unique one to prospective student athletes. It's one of a kind.
My favorite part about being an apprentice is getting to work with my hands and playing football. And since I came in the yard, I've matured a lot, coming in straight out of high school, and I'm able to work better with others.
Oh man, it's a great experience. I mean, you're doing what you love. You're learning a great trade that you can use anywhere. It's just a great experience, best experience I ever had.
I loved it because it taught me time management, it taught me patience. I was one of those ones that did everything last minute, so it taught me how to go to work, get time for resting, get time for homework and school, and stay on top of things. My favorite thing about being an apprentice has to be the numerous opportunities that you get. As long as you show initiative, determination, and you dedicate yourself, there's no door that can't be opened.
It's not your traditional four-year college scholarship type athlete. Just hearing about the women actually getting out and working every day told me a lot about their character to even sign up and be committed to a program like this. So the challenge, I think, just knowing that these women can do both, it was inspiring.
Wrestling is one of those sports where it takes serious dedication to be really good at. And just like every other apprentice, they're going to school and they're going to work all day. They're working on nuclear aircraft carriers and submarines and being a full-time athlete.
I didn't know what to think. I was blindsided. Got to grow up a little fast, but I made it work. Been here 10 years now. And yeah, tuition free, simple. It's as simple as that.
Most recent grads that are graduating high school, their first year at college or typical university, they're sleeping in sometimes in the mornings. Our guys and young ladies are out beating on steel at 5:30 in the morning sometimes.
It's completely different. You really see how responsible you have to be to get up every morning and get to work, and how much people really rely on you.
This is not for somebody that's soft. It's something that it's very rewarding when you get through it. It's a long day. You're up at 5 or so. You may go to school all day. You may work all day, practice afterwards, get home, clean up, eat, do your homework, and get to bed and get ready to do it again the next day. So it's a sacrifice and it's a commitment.
I'd say my proudest moment really is just being able to have this opportunity and do it all. I mean, I got the schooling paid for and made it through that, and being able to do something that I'm really interested in.
But playing baseball is awesome through the apprentice school, because it definitely just opens more doors to move up in the company. You can't have much more fun playing baseball.
Probably is the best decision that you could make coming out of high school. You're going to be able to pay your own bills, start your own career, and also at the same time, you could get your education for free. So it's really a no-brainer.
I was recruited right out of high school. Had a defensive coordinator come to my school and say, hey man, you're not going to have any student debt when you finish up. You're going to get to play football and work with your hands every day. I said, sign me up right then and there. Greatest experience of my life thus far.
You got to have some guts. You got to be hard-nosed to be able to survive this place, this culture, this atmosphere. So what we do is we come in, we tell our guys there are no excuses. We want guys that are smart, that are going to be able to come in here and get the classwork done. That's first and foremost. But secondly, we want hard-nosed guys that really love the game of football, guys that You know, they can't wait to get over to football practice and they love to compete. We play a fast, high-paced, exciting brand of football, so that's something they can look forward to every day. With the way we're trending and the way our program is recruiting, I can tell you that we're going to be moving into some spaces that Apprentice football has never been before, and I'm excited about it.
It's a great opportunity to be able to come to the Apprentice School, not only play the sport, but also be able to have a career out of it as well, too.
I believe the proudest moment I've had is to see all of our players, walk that stage. I challenge each one of them to become a superintendent as a minimum, and several of them are going through the ranks making supervision, so I'm real proud of that. That's probably more than any of them shooting 69 or 70 in my opinion.
It's a big deal. When they come here, they're building nuclear-powered submarines and aircraft carriers for the U.S. Navy, and basketball is just the fun part. But what our apprentices do on a day-in and day-out basis is protecting our security at home, so it's something that they're going to be able to really take pride in for the rest of their lives.
We play a huge part in the safety of our country, being a contractor of the United States Navy, and it's just an opportunity that we can offer that no one else in America can, so it's really unique here and really awesome.
The opportunity of the apprentice school should be known to a lot of individuals because it gives students an opportunity to come in and not only learn a trade, but also you get a chance to be an athlete as well. So to be able to get job skills, on-the-job training, as well as interact and be in a world-class company, I mean, what more can an individual ask for?
I'm Michael Allen. I'm the Director of Athletics here at the Apprentice School, and I am a builder.
My name is Brian Cave, and I am a builder.
My name is Nicole Jackson, and I am a builder.
My name is Ben Jones, and I am a builder.
I'm Joey Maben, and I am a builder.
My name is Zach Johnson, and I am a builder.
My name is BJ Maben, and I'm a builder.
My name is Quanisha Bruce, and I am a builder.
My name is Evan Key, and I am a builder.
My name is Mike Amrazovich, and I am a builder.
My name is John Davis, and I'm a builder.
My name is Austin Saylor, and I'm a builder.
My name is Marky Chevres, and I am a builder.
My name is Lou Picola, and I'm a builder.
I'm Brandon Joyner, and I'm a builder.
I'm a builder.
I am a builder.
I am a builder.
I am a foundry apprentice. It's going to be 2 years for me in September. The first year it was pretty tough for me. I'm from New Mexico. I'm pretty far away from home, and I was finding a hard balance between school and work and basketball, and I came right into basketball season, my start date, and I'm really proud that I made it through. The foundry is a unique trade. It's the only trade I know that you take raw materials and turn it into a product. Working with the multi-metal, I was very nervous when I started. Even being in the vicinity of pour operations and with the multi-metal, you have to have a deep respect for it, and you can never become complacent. I would say as a molder, there's a lot of details that go into the job, but in a nutshell, you just take sand, we ram it into a mold, and through process it becomes a finished casting. And these castings go on aircraft carriers and submarines as well. It's physically demanding. A lot of it is thinking. And you got to be able to think before you act so that you don't injure yourself, where safety is our #1 priority there. And I think as far as applying yourself and engaging, if you engage and apply yourself in the trade, you'll learn a lot. And I'm still learning in my apprenticeship. The foundry, when I first got there, was very intimidating to me. I was nervous about it. I had no idea what I was going to be doing. There's a whole bunch of men in there, and there hasn't been a female that graduated from there yet. So I was nervous about it, but it was the exact opposite when I started. The guys in there are very nice. They look out for me. They don't want me to get hurt. I'll probably be the first girl to graduate in there, hopefully. So that's kind of exciting. We're going to make history. So the most valuable thing that I have gained throughout my apprenticeship is definitely growing as an individual, having more confidence in myself than I did when I first came here. And I realized that that's adding to the way I perform in my trade, and me maturing and growing up is helping me develop into a better person to one day try to be a great leader in this company. The apprentice school is by far the best decision I have ever made. It's definitely a stepping stone to build a great career here at Huntington Eagles.
Yeah. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Apprentice School Athletic Center here in Newport News, Virginia, on the campus of Newport News Shipbuilding, as we're about to wind down the half here as both teams, the Builders and the Wildcats, have made their way out of the locker room. Right now, our halftime score, the Johnson and Wales University in Charlotte Wildcats currently lead the Builders by a score of 34-28. And taking a look at some of the halftime stats, it kind of tells why the Builders currently trail. Now, the leading scorer for the Wildcats is Robert Hobson, who currently leads all scorers for the Wildcats at 10 points. Now, that's not all that spectacular, but if you kind of look at the box score, there's been more balanced scoring up and down the starting lineup for the Wildcats. Their next leading scorer is at 8 points, and after that 6, and a couple of players have 2. So a lot of different guys have been contributing to this lead for the Wildcats. But on the other side of the court, for the Builders, Marion Moore currently leads all scorers for the Builders with 14 points. After that, the next leading scorer has 8, and the next leading scorer that has 2, and the other guys have nothing. So more balanced scoring needs to happen across the board for the Builders here in the second half. Another telling stat as far as turnovers. The Builders have turned the basketball over 14 times in the first half. Folks, most teams turn that over for an entire game. The Builders just gave up that many in the first half. So for the visiting Wildcats, they only turned the ball over 8 times. So that's a very telling stat. Another very telling stat, turnovers a lot of times can lead to points. Points off of turnovers in the first half for the Wildcats, 18. So the Builders have to take care of the basketball, and they have to get back on transition defense. When they do, the second half is about to start. All right, we're so glad you could join us back here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center as the opening half has begun. Here's Poole with the basketball being guarded by Fuller. Hobson, leading scorer in the first half for the Wildcats, dribbles in, shot, good. 36-28, 8-point lead being enjoyed right now by the Wildcats Here's Joyner with the basketball over to Moore. Fuller off of a screen drives, and guess what? Another turnover, and fast break opportunity missed by the Wildcats as a save by Walton sails out of bounds, and that's going to be a turnover. Another turnover, second turnover of the half. We're not even 1 minute in, and we've already committed 2 turnovers. So ball goes back to the Wildcats. Here's Hobson over to McAfee. Morris guarding. Here's Hobson, leading scorer with 10 points in the first half. Here's McAfee. Spins, shot, no good, but there was a foul. Corey Joyner whistled for the foul. That'll be his, I believe, Corey Joyner's first foul, first team foul. Here's Malik Bullock. Shot no good. Score remains Wildcats 36, Builders 28, 19:08 remaining in the first half as the second free throw is up and good. Here's Joyner out to Morris. Walton back into the ball game. Relatively quiet in the first half. We need his scoring. Here's Morris over to Joyner. Joyner off of a screen for Morris. Shot up and good. Walton with his first points of tonight to go along with 2 fouls. Here's McAfee deep in the corner, 3, no good. Rebound taken by the Builders. Here's Joyner running. Joyner, feed, Walton, shot up and good. 4 quick points out of the locker room by Walton. That knocks the lead down for the Wildcats to 5, 37-32. Step back 3-point shot, no good. Joyner runs. Joyner presses in the lane, kick to Morris, 3-point, good! And as good as things have gone for the Builders coming out of the locker room, once again, transition defense fails them, and they give up an easy layup on the other end to the Wildcats, who have extended their lead to 39-35. Here's Walton on the blocks, and another turnover by the Builders, but the Wildcats nearly give it back themselves. Here's Hobson. Shot up, no good, but there's a foul underneath. And a technical foul call. Now, who's that on? Now, the foul was on Marion Moore, and the technical foul call is on Robert Hobson. So, we'll walk the length of the court to the Builders' end of the court, and that's where 2 technical free throws are going to be shot by Brandon Joyner. It must have been something said verbally by Hobson that the referee did not like, and we'll take it as the first technical free throw is up and good. 39-36 our score, 17-33 remaining in the ball game as the second technical free throw is missed. Gotta make the freebies, folks. Now the ball goes back to the other end of the court where Hobson, who a technical foul was called on, will shoot 2. That is his first technical. If he gets another, he'll be disqualified. As Hobson's first free throw is no good. Hobson, 12 points in the basketball game, again leads all scorers for the Wildcats. He'll shoot the second of 2. 39-36 is the score as the second free throw goes in. Joyner pushes it up court as he gets his instructions from Coach Key. Feed to Marion Moore, shot blocked by Poole. Here's McAfee, guarded by Moore. Step back 3, good. 3-point shot up and good by Christian Cresswell. That's his 5th point of the basketball game, and that extends the lead for the Wildcats, 43-36. Feed down low, stolen. Creswell. Here are the Wildcats. Man-to-man defense from the Builders. Here's Hobson being guarded by Moore. Hobson, step back. No good. Rebound taken by Poole. Put back is good. A lot of hustle being shown by the Wildcats. Playing with a lot of energy as the long three-pointer is good by Morris. 45-39, our score after the long three-pointer from Morris. Here's a three-point shot up and good by Poole. Builders need to do something about this swagger that the Wildcats are playing with, as a step back three is no good for Joyner. Here's Poole running. That's a travel, but wasn't called. Ball, turnover to the Builders. Here's Joyner. Looks, finds Fuller for three. No good. Rebound fought for by Walton. Unable to come away. Here are the Wildcats. Here's McAfee. 15:30 remaining in the ball game. Hobson for three is good. Wow. And just that quickly, the Wildcats have extended their lead now, 51-39 over the Builders. 15:25 remaining in the first half, and for a brief second there, it looked like the Builders were going to get themselves right back into this ball game, but as quickly as they were able to get themselves into it, three-point shooting by the Wildcats put them right back out. So a huge mountain to climb here in the basketball game for the Builders. They currently trail by 12 points, 51-39, 15:25 remaining in the basketball game, and you just have to give it to the Wildcats. They've come in to play tonight's ball game, folks. They're coming in with a little bit more energy than the Builders currently are. Now, keep this in mind. The Builders did work today, remember? So maybe some of that fatigue from working out in the shipyard may be showing up here on the court tonight. But if I know this team, they're going to continue to fight and play all the way to that clock hits 000. So game is not over. Builders currently trail by a score of 51-39 as both teams finish up their timeout and will be making their way back onto the court. But for the Builders, again, turnovers. Turnovers have plagued this basketball team in the first half, come out in the second half, first two possessions, 2 turnovers. So have to take care of the basketball guys if we're going to pull this basketball game out here at the Apprentice Athletic Center. Nice crowd here tonight to watch the Builders. Even though it's been cold outside, Builder fans still being faithful, coming out to cheer on their team. So hopefully before the night is over, the Builders can give them something to go home happy about as Morris triggers in to Joyner. Builders trail by 12, but it's not over. Here's Moore over to Joyner, being guarded by Hobson. Hobson, 16 points tonight for the Wildcats. McAfee on the defense, shot clock down to 12. Feed, down low, shot up and good for Milton. Big basket that time. I'm sorry, I said Milton, I apologize. That was Walton. I was blocked by the official. And here's Hobson. 51-41 is our score. McAfee with the basketball and the lead for the Wildcats. Skip pass by Poole. Another pass out behind the three-point arc to a waiting Kajon Madden McAfee, who drains the three. Our new score, Wildcats 54, Builders 41, backdoor feed to Joyner, shot up and good. 54-41, 11-point lead. Ball goes off of the head of Bullock. Turnover, three-point shot, long, no good by Joyner. Here's Hobson. Bullock tries to feed down low, no one home. Over to Joyner, Joyner to Joyner. Spot up shot, good. 2 points, 54-45. Builders trail by 9 as the four-court press is on to try and force the Wildcats into a mistake. Long three-point shot rims in and out for Poole as the Builders push. Joyner attempts to feed down low, but it goes off of a Wildcat out of bounds, so possession stays with the Builders. Takes a lot more energy to try to overtake another team to take the lead, folks, and to sustain a lead, and you can start to see the Builders show signs of fatigue as Moore, feed, foul. That foul call was on number 23, Jackson Baylark. That is his second personal foul and the team's second. Marion Moore will step to the line to shoot 2 to try to add to his 14-point total for tonight's ball game, leads all scorers for the Builders. First free throw is good. 54-46, 8-point lead by the Wildcats, 13:35 remaining. And the second free throw by Marion Moore is good. Builders back into the four-court press. Full-court press broken by the Wildcats who turned the basketball over. Traveling call. Malik Bullock turns the ball over, and folks, all of a sudden, it's the Wildcats that aren't taking care of the basketball. They're turning the basketball over, giving extra possessions to the Builders who've taken advantage, but they're down by 7. 54-47, here's Moore. Dribble drive to the basket, too strong, tip back, good. Right place, right time, Marion Moore. Here's a foul underneath on the shot. Corey Joyner with the body. That'll be Corey Joyner's second personal foul as Zarian Wilkins make his way back into the ball game for the Wildcats. So no shots. Foul was called on the floor. Wildcats inbound. Here's Poole. Over to Hobson. Skip pass, deep corner. Ball back out to Poole. Here's Hobson being guarded by Joyner. Shot up, no good. Rebound taken by Walton. Walton has owned the boards tonight for the Builders, as he usually does. Here's Joyner, shot blocked. But it's corralled by Moore, but offensive foul. Thought that might have been a blocking foul. But as it goes, Marion Moore lowered his shoulder and picked up his third foul. 54-49, Wildcats over the Builders. 12:26 remaining. Here's Hobson. Hobson goes down, but we get a timeout. Timeout being taken by the visiting Wildcats. That'll be their second timeout taken of the half, and we've seen a surge, folks. We've watched the energy that the Wildcats were displaying early in the second half make its way over to the Builder side of the basketball court. And just like that, the Builders have gotten themselves right back into this ball game, folks, only trailing by 5. 54-49 is our score. 12:18 left in the basketball game, and eternity left to play. Now, can the Builders sustain this energy level? They've already expended a lot of energy cutting that 12-point lead down to 5. So, do they have enough energy to sustain themselves for the remainder of this basketball game? We're going to find out here in the next 12-18. So, as both teams talk about strategy here coming out of the timeout, Coach Larkin needs to stress to his team that they take care of the basketball. We saw where the turnover bug really plagued the Builders in the first half has come out and plagued the Wildcats. Let's hope that bug continues to plague them as we play this next 12-18. Basketball remains with the Wildcats as Poole triggers. Here's Gill. Back over to Poole. Here's Hobson. Hobson into the lane, shot up, no good. Tip back almost goes in, but Walton with another defensive rebound as Marion Moore's Euro step and layup is just short. of going in as Poole runs. Kick out to Gill. Here's Barlock back out to Hobson. Over to Gill, who traveled with the basketball, but it wasn't called, but Marion Moore secures a rebound. Builders running. Here's Joyner. Joyner taking on everyone. Shot up and blocked. You would have loved to see Joyner kick that one back out and reset the offense as Poole goes down for the dunk and it's denied, but put back is good by Wilkins. Here's Joyner, who turns it over and doesn't get back on defense as the alley-oop was attempted by the Wildcats, but there was a foul. That foul is going to be on Brian Fuller. That is his first personal foul and the team's fifth. As we have double technical fouls called on both teams, we have a technical foul call on Poole, who's currently at the line to shoot two, and Brian Fuller is also called for a technical, so there's going to be offsetting, so there won't be any shots taken for those technical fouls, but Poole will take his free throws, and the first one is no good. 56-49, if you're just joining us, Wildcats over the Builders, 11-12 remaining in the basketball game. Here's Poole for two. Second free throw, no good. Unable to get the rebound were the Builders. Three-point shot by Hobson is no good, but the Builders get the rebound. Here's Joyner running. Feed to Fuller, to the basket. Shot no good. Here's Hobson running. Skip pass is taken and thrown out of, well, mishandled by Gill. Steps on the baseline. Possession goes over to the Builders as the Wildcats make a substitution. Fred Patterson into the ball game for the Wildcats. Here's Joyner being guarded by Gill. Moore off of a screen. Here's Walton inside, shot blocked. Ball taken by the Wildcats. Here's Hobson. Hobson weaving. Three-point shot. No good. Here's Joyner with the rebound. 10:28 remaining. Builders down by 7 as Joyner tries to find Walton, but Walton was thinking that Joyner was going to lay it up, so Walton cast his eyes towards the rim for the rebound opportunity. Joyner passed it to Walton, wasn't looking. Turnover. Here's a three from the corner for Fred Patterson. And that pushes the Wildcat lead up to 10. 59-49, 10 minutes remaining. Builders with the basketball, feed down low to Walton. Shot is up and good. Walton has been lights out with the basketball since we came out of the halftime locker room as he comes out with a block. Somebody get that man the basketball. Walton has played exceptional here in the second half, but you can start to see a little bit of fatigue starting to set in with the Builders as you see Builder players with their hands on their hips, folks, and a lot of times that is the first sign of fatigue. So a lot of time still remaining. 9:49 left in the basketball game as Hobson gets the inbound. Hobson feed down low to Patterson, whose shot is up and good. Patterson 2 for 2, 5 points in the basketball game. 61-51, Wildcats lead by 10 over our home Builders. Here's Joyner. Fuller looks. Ball tipped out by the Wildcats, but taken back by the Builders as the three-point shot is good. Brandon Joyner, 61-54. Wildcats lead by 7. Here's Patterson. Traveling. Violation. Sometimes your mind, sometimes your body moves just a little bit faster than your mind, as I just did right there. Turnover by the Wildcats. Builders in control of the basketball, trailing 61-54. Joyner needs help, gets it from Moore. Shot up short. Walton, put back is good. Walton has come out in the second half and played possessed, folks. 10 points for Walton, 61-56. Hobson almost loses it. 3-point shot, good. And you have to give it to the Wildcats right when the Builders start to make a run. They've hit a key three-pointer at very opportune times in the basketball game to seize back momentum. Builders using a lot of energy. Here's Joyner, shot up, banks it. Banks home the three for the Builders, and that puts the lead back at 5. 64-59, Wildcats. Here's Patterson. Patterson to Cresswell, back out to Gill for three. 2 3-pointers in a row. That's 4 3-point shots in a row for both teams, as threes are being traded, and neither team came into tonight's ball game playing particularly well, shooting from behind the three-point arc. But all of a sudden, a display of marksmanship by both teams here in the second half as Morris makes his way back into the ball game. Builders trail by 8. Walton to Joyner. Looks for Moore. Moore, spin, foul. That foul is going to be on Zarian Wilkins. That is his first personal foul, and the team's fourth, and Marion Moore steps to the line to shoot 2. 7:29 remaining here in the basketball game. First shot is good. 67-60. Marion Moore, 19 points, leads all scorers for the Builders. Second free throw is also good. 61-67, 7:29 remaining. Do the Builders have enough energy to sustain them for this final 7:23? Let's find out. Gill to Hobson. Hobson works. Shot up and good. $18 points for Hobson. 8-point lead for the Wildcats. Here's Joyner. Shot up, no good. Rebound taken by the Wildcats as we get a foul. Brian Fuller tried to tie up Gill for a jump ball, but as it goes, there's going to be a foul on Fuller. For Fuller, that is his second personal foul, as Cresswell steps to the line to shoot 2. My biggest concern right now isn't the lead. My biggest concern right now is fatigue. Will the Builders have enough energy to make it through this basketball game and get themselves back into it? Currently trailing by 9, as the Cresswell free throw is up and good. Really surprised the officials didn't see that hand gesture that Cresswell gave to his bench after he made the free throw. That could have been taunting, but instead it goes as a made free throw, lead 10 by the Wildcats, as the feed down low to Walton, who's played exceptional here in the second half. Look for a foul, nothing there, missed shot. Here's Hobson. 6:30 remaining. Hobson works over to Wilkins, back to Gill, who's made a couple of three-point shots in a row. 3 up and good by Cresswell. 74-61. A 5-point lead that was cut down to 5 by the Builders is back up to 13 just that quick as Joyner works. And he's fouled. That foul call is going to be on Phillip Gill. That is his third personal foul and the team's fifth. Brandon Joyner back into the ball game. Joyner feeds down low to Walton, but there's a foul on Cresswell. Foul is on Cresswell. That is his second personal foul. And Cresswell has quietly put in 10 points tonight for the Wildcats. I didn't see them, but they're there. As Joyner looks, can't find anyone on the inbound. So the Builders will be forced to use one of their timeouts, unable to get the ball in bounds. And just like we talked about coming out of the locker room, balanced scoring across the board for the visiting Wildcats, as their leading scorer, Hobson, has put in 18, but right behind him, Cresswell has put in 10. As you look at the scoreboard there on the right side of the scoreboard, that is the Wildcats. You can see Hobson with 11, Cresswell with 10, and we see 6, 6, and 5. Now, they've been very balanced with their scoring. On the other side of the scoreboard, as you can see, 20 points being put in tonight by Marion Moore. Right behind him with 13 points is Brandon Joyner, and right behind Brandon Joyner has been Marion Moore. I'm sorry, not Marion Moore. I'm sorry, that's Drew Walton. Scoreboard is kind of right behind the backboards. I was kind of shielded just a little bit, but we're getting much better scoring, balanced scoring from the Builders here in the second half, but we're running out of time. If you want a realistic shot at getting back into a basketball game and winning it, you have to have the score at or under 10 points at the 5-minute mark. Right now, 5:56 remaining. The Wildcats are leading by 13. So the Builders still have a shot, but they have to take advantage and score when they have the basketball. Here's Joyner. Joyner over to Corey Joyner, back to Brandon. Skip pass over to Morris. Morris looks, finds Moore. 6 remaining on the shot clock, and the Builders get bailed out with a foul. That foul is going to go on Cresswell. That is going to be his third foul, and that's going to be the team's 7th. So for the remaining of the basketball game, both teams will be in the bonus. That's the 1-and-1. So Drew Walton will step to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. Clock stopped. Wildcats leading 74-61, 5:40 remaining in the basketball game. Here's Walton. First free throw is good. Walton went into the halftime locker room scoreless, but has put in 11 points here in the second half as we have an official's timeout. I'm not sure, we may have a problem with the score. The books were just checked, so the score on the scoreboard is correct. Wildcats 64, Builders 62. Here's Walton. Second free throw is good. Anytime the Builders can score points while the clock is stopped is a plus. Lead down to 11. Here's Hobson over to Patterson. Here's Gill looking, waiting. Cresswell screen. Here's Gill. Shot blocked by Joyner, taken by Joyner. Good job of defense that time by Corey Joyner to get the block on Gill. 5:13 remaining. Brandon Joyner with the basketball, needs help. Here's Walton. Walton in the lane, spin, shot up, no good. Had that gone down, that would have been an opportunity for a three-point play, but as it goes, that is a foul on Christian Cresswell. So for Cresswell, that is his 4th personal foul, team's 8th. And stepping to the line to shoot 2 for the home Builders is Walton. 12 points tonight for Walton. As the first free throw rims out. My goodness. Substitutions into the ball game for the Wildcats. Wildcats as Poole, that's Baylark, and McAfee make their way back onto the court. 5:05 remaining in the ball game. 11-point lead by the Wildcats as Walton sinks the second. 74-64 is our score. Bryant Fuller back into the ball game for defense for the Wildcats as Hobson will trigger from the baseline. Builders, full court press. Poole deep in the corner. Shot up, no good. Nice defense by Fuller. Walton with the rebound. Here's Morris, who's hit from that spot tonight, but goes off of the rim, up and over the backboard, and that's out of bounds. So, 74-64 our score. Wildcats leading the Builders. 4:43 remaining. Here's McAfee. Over to Hobson, who attacks. Shot no good, putback is. 20 points for Hobson. Lead is 12. 76-64. Here's Joyner. Feed inside to Moore, but he's fouled. That foul will go on number 2. That'll be Zarian Wilkins. That is his second personal foul in the team's ninth, so one more, and the Builders are in the double bonus for the remainder of the game. Here's Marion Moore to add to his already 20 points, and he does. 21 points for leading scorer Marion Moore, trims the lead now to 11. 76-65, and he trims it to 10. Bryce Scott makes his way into the ball game. 76-66 Builders as Marion Moore gets an opportunity to get a quick rest, and trust me, he will not be on the bench too long. Four-court press on again for the Builders as McAfee gets the basketball. 4:18 remaining. Joyner defending. McAfee works off of a screen. Ball is lost temporarily by Wilkins, but he gets it back and over to Hobson. Hobson, long three. No good. Fuller fights, can't get the rebound. Wilkins does and puts it back home for 2. 78-66, 12-point lead. 3:50 remaining. Possessions at a premium right now for the Builders as Walton is fouled. That call is going to go on Jackson Baylark. That's his third personal foul and the team's 10th. So the Builders now in the double bonus will shoot 2 for the remaining 3:45. Here's Walton, who puts in his 14th point of the half. For the remaining 3:45 on offense, the Builders have to attack the basket. As the second free throw by Walton is up and good, and just that quickly, Marion Moore back into the ball game, trailing by 10, 78-68, as Hobson takes, works. Right now, Wildcats are probably looking to run just a little bit of clock, but if they're able to get a quality shot, they'll take it, as the shot is no good. Here's Joyner. A lot of work to be done for the Builders. They need to attack the basket, try and get a foul, and hopefully get an and one opportunity. As a feed down low to Walton is successful. Walton up good. Marion Moore put back no good. You had 2 point-blank range shots at the basket, but could not put it down, as on the other end, long three no good by the Wildcats. Here's Marion Moore running. Layup is good. And we're going to have a timeout. Timeout being taken by the visiting Wildcats. 78-70, our score, 2:55 remaining. Still plenty of time for the Builders, but they have to make the most of every possession. Now, they were able to get a layup for 2, and that's great. 2:55 remaining, that knocks the lead down to 8. But if you are the Builders, they need to get some either and one opportunities or throw some screens for someone to get open for a wide open 3. Tonight, Sam Morris has pretty much been the guy from the 3-point line. He's hit a couple of deep threes for the Builders when they've needed them. And folks, right now, they need them. So if you're the Builders, you want to continue to pressure on offense, hopefully create a turnover, and after that, you need to get something moving towards the basket, because either one of two things is going to happen. Either going to score an easy basket, or you're going to get fouled, and they need to score points while the clock is stopped. Both teams back onto the court after the timeout. Here's Hobson to trigger. McAfee with the basketball in the backcourt. Able to get it to Hobson, over to Poole, feed down low, but the Wildcats are in no hurry to take a shot. 2:43 remaining, shot clock at 16. Here's McAfee, pushing, almost traveled. Here's Poole, deep 3, no good, off the front of the iron, and that's gonna be was that a foul call? Nope. Thought that might have been a foul call, but it wasn't. That would have stopped the clock and given the Builders an opportunity to score. And they just changed it. So that will be a foul call. Jackson Baylart is going to be whistled for the personal. For Baylart, that is his 4th personal foul to go along with his 2 points tonight. 2:30 remaining on the clock. Builders trail by 8. Drew Walton about to step to the line to shoot 2. 16 points tonight for Walton. And it's going to stay at 16 points for the time being for Walton, as the first free throw trickles off the front of the iron, no good. Second free throw is good for Walton. Bryant Fuller back into the ball game for the Builders, who currently trail by 7. 2:30 remaining. Builders may have to start playing the foul game soon, but right now they've elected to just try and play defense as Hobson works, almost turns it over. Wilkins there to gather. Moore defending, kick to Hobson. Hobson looking for someone, no one there. Here is Poole for 3, no good. Opportunity, Builders. Need to get something moving towards the basket. Instead, a long 3 is good. Brian Fuller from the corner. 1:52 remaining in the basketball game is Fuller. And here we have a turnover. Here's Joyner, up, under, shot, no good. If that had gone in, this gymnasium would have exploded. Great pressure defense in the backcourt by the Builders. And they're going to get an opportunity to score while the clock is stopped at 1:43. Builders trail by 4. They're starting to believe, folks. Joyner's first free throw is good. 3-point lead by the Wildcats, both teams with 2 timeouts. And the second free throw is good. Bryce Scott enters the ball game for Sam Morris. 78-76 is our score, 1:43 remaining. Builders have fought, haven't given up. 4-court press back on, here's Moore. Moore guarding Wilkins, who breaks the press, finds McAfee. McAfee being guarded. Long 3-point shot is good. That one hurt. McAfee from long range makes it a 5-point lead as Joyner works, and he traveled. Are you kidding me? Wow. Shot went in, but he traveled. 1:16 remaining. 81-76 Wildcats, still not over. Here's Hobson in the backcourt. Oh my gosh, as I thought that Bryce Scott might have picked Hobson's pocket, but they're gonna call a foul. So that's going to be a 1-and-1 opportunity upcoming for Hobson as Cresswell, who has 4 fouls of his own, makes his way onto the basketball court, and Hobson will make his way to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. 7:07 remaining. Sam Morris makes his way back into the ball game as Bryce Scott takes a seat. 1:07 remaining. Builders trail by 5. First free throw is up and good. 2-possession ball game. Builders trail by 6. A lot of time left. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. Second free throw is good. 7-point lead. 3-possession ball game as the Builders push. Here's Joyner guarded by McAfee. Builders have to score quickly. And they don't. They turn it over. Fast break opportunity as Poole goes up and he's fouled by Fuller. Builders unable to take care of the basketball on their end of the court as Bryant Fuller commits the personal. Poole will shoot 2. 11 points tonight for Poole. 52.1 seconds remaining in the basketball game. Builders trail by 7. First free throw is good, and even if Poole makes the second one, it's still a 3-possession ball game for the Builders with 52 seconds remaining. We have a slight stoppage in play as the ball has gotten some perspiration on it, so the official wants to dry it off. Great basketball game played tonight by both teams. The Builders have done an amazing job of getting themselves back into this basketball game in the second half. Second free throw bounces around and in. So, from this point forward, three-point opportunities are what need to be taken by the Builders as the clock continues to tick. We have to go quickly. First 3-point shot is up. No good. Rebound taken by Poole. Outlet to Cresswell. Builders not fouling. As the shot is missed, but the Builders take. Here's Moore dribbling. Shot up. Good. 28 seconds remaining as we have a timeout being taken. Timeout being taken by the visiting Wildcats as they try to strategize what they're going to do for this remaining 28 seconds of the basketball game, and they currently lead right now by 7 over the Builders by a score of 85-78. Builders have been impressive in this second half. Yes, they've had some mistakes, but you can't take away the heart that they've shown in this second half. They've come in, were thoroughly outplayed, and were able to get the lead down to 2. But a couple of turnovers here and there have pushed the lead for the Wildcats back up to where it is right now by a score of 85-78. So 28 seconds remaining, 2 timeouts remaining for the Builders. They're currently down by 3 possessions. So will Coach Key play the foul game for the remaining 28 seconds to try to create some possessions for his ball club to possibly get themselves down court to try to take some threes here and there and try to get some points on the board in the next 28 seconds? We're about to find out. I think that may be the strategy. So look for the Builders to start to try to foul, try to extend this 28 seconds as much as they can to try to squeeze as many possessions out of it as they can. Hobson will inbound on the baseline. Builders, full court press, 3 possessions they need. I thought they were going to foul, but they did not, as Poole goes up for the dunk. And we have a technical foul call, I believe, on Poole. And if that is on Poole, that is his second technical. So he is disqualified from the basketball game. So 20.6 remaining. I'm not really sure what Poole did. I believe he may have said something after the made dunk. So that is going to be a 2-shot technical taken by the Builders, who currently trail by 9. Here's Joyner. First technical free throw is good. And the second is good. Basketball will remain with the Builders. They'll inbound from the far baseline. 20.6 remaining. Builders trail by 8. Here's Joyner. Joyner stripped by Hobson, who breaks and lays it in. 9-point lead with 11.9 seconds remaining, folks, and I think that's going to do it as Morris crosses the timeline to Joyner. Joyner down low to Moore, who lays it in, 3.6 seconds remaining. As the official says, wind the clock, and that will do it. 89-82 is our final score here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center here in Newport News, Virginia, on the campus of Newport News Shipbuilding. The Builders come up just short, 89-82, fought hard, as they always do. We knew that was going to happen when they came out in the second half, but were they going to have enough energy to be able to stop the Wildcats? Unfortunately, they weren't able to. Wildcats came in tonight, shot very well. Their leading scorer, Hobson, put in 23 points. Next leading scorer, I believe, was McAfee, who dropped in 14. Balanced scoring tonight for the Wildcats. Unfortunately, it wasn't the night that the Builders had envisioned. So the Builders lose their third consecutive ball game. The Wildcats break their 3-game losing streak as they take over and win this basketball game. So for the Builders, their record falls to 7-6, 3-1 in the EMAC, while the Wildcats improve to 5-6, 3-0 in the EMAC. So Builders fall tonight by a score of 89-82. Hard-fought game. Very enjoyable game. Great crowd that came out tonight to see the Builders. So word is getting around for the Builders. They're getting fan support. So if you are in the area and watching this broadcast, come on out and check us out for the next home game. So that'll do it tonight. For me, Howard McCain, the Builders go down by a score of 89-82 here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. For everyone involved, including Bayport Credit Union, the title sponsor for Builder basketball, we want to say good night, and we'll see you next time here at the Apprentice School.